Teams spend an average of 9 hours per day consuming digital media content. Where there is attention, there is money to be made. Hi everyone, I'm Nick, and today I'll be going through the 7 ways you can make money online as part of the creator economy without needing to get in front of the camera yourself. I've been part of the creator economy since August of 2020 when I posted my first ever TikTok video and have continued to expand on Instagram and most recently right here on YouTube. I've seen firsthand that there is a ton of money to be made in this space. Brand spending on influencer marketing in 2021 alone is expected to be over $3 billion. But this money isn't only for the influencers. There are many people working behind the scenes that receive a nice slice of this cake as well, and that's what we'll be covering in today's video. Creators, like any small business owner, only have so much time in the day. Once they reach a certain level of success, it makes sense to outsource some tasks that they don't necessarily need to do themselves, so they can spend their own time on activities with the highest return on investment. If you're a lawyer, it makes sense to hire an assistant to handle scheduling and basic administrative tasks so you can spend all of your time working with clients and generating revenue. If you're a creator with 1 million followers, it might not make sense to spend 3 hours editing a video and that time can be spent coming up with an idea for the next one. But when a creator reaches the point where they feel like they need to hire someone, they come across a big challenge. Since these sort of jobs are so new, they can't just post a listing on a traditional job website and expect to find a qualified candidate. To understand the creator economy and what the creator needs, you usually need to be a fan. And that's the best part. There aren't a ton of real job qualifications. As long as you understand the creator's brand, are willing to hustle, and are willing to learn the skills that need to be done, there is a place for you in this world. Before we get started, make sure you smash the like button, post the notification bell, and of course subscribe if you want to learn more about money every week. The first side hustle you want to do is go down to my comment section, find one of those spam accounts that said they've made millions of dollars trading crypto, and give them all your just kidding. These accounts are complete frauds who will scam you out of hundreds, if not thousands of dollars based on false promises of getting rich quick. If anything ever sounds too good to be true, it almost certainly is. Our first real side hustle in the creator space is making intro and outro music for YouTube and podcasts. Podcasts especially, but sometimes YouTube videos tend to follow this format. They start with either a cold open or an interesting soundbite from later in the episode. They roll their intro music, and then they start the episode for real. That intro music has to come from somewhere, and it's usually not from the podcast creator themselves. If you can learn how to make simple beats in a program like GarageBand, which is free if you have a Mac, you can sell them for between $5 and $30 per download on a website like audiojungle.net or beatsuite.com. Here's a beat I threw together myself in GarageBand almost 4 years ago for a now defunct podcast, just to give you an idea of what you can make in like 5 minutes. Maybe that's why the podcast never got off the ground. If you're worried that nobody will find and buy your audio files off of these websites, try posting on Fiverr. Fiverr is a website you'll hear about a lot during this episode. It's a website where freelancers of all kinds can post their services. Basically, every side hustle I cover on here can be found on Fiverr. I'm not sponsored by them, they're just the best freelancer website out there right now. If you decide to offer intro and outro music on Fiverr, you'll be making a unique piece of content each time. You can't just make one beat and sell it over and over again. But this increased amount of effort does lead to a higher pay. You can charge between $40 to $150 for each engagement. If you really want to get after it, you can find podcasters and YouTubers who don't currently have intro music and offer to make it for them for a set price. Most content creators have business emails linked in their bios, so you can easily shoot them an email with an offer. If not, try to DM them or just leave comments until they respond. If you're musically inclined, this is a great side hustle that can make you hundreds of dollars per week. If you're not musically inclined, keep watching. By far the biggest consumer of my time, especially for YouTube, is writing scripts for these videos. It may surprise you, but most YouTubers don't just turn on the camera, talk off the top of their head for 10 minutes, and post the video. It takes hours of scripting before a video is ever shot. If you're in this personal finance, investing niche, you especially want to write out a script beforehand to ensure everything you're saying is correct and is easy to understand for your audience. Scripting for TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts clearly doesn't take as much time as scripting for a YouTube video, but it can still take me 1 to 3 hours to draft scripts for the 5 short videos I'll post during the week. And I've been doing this for over a year. Out of every side hustle I cover in this video, this could be the most difficult for a creator to outsource. The creator is using the script to speak directly to their audience. They want to ensure their voice feels authentic, includes their personality, and accurately conveys the knowledge they want to give to their viewers. Outsourcing this to someone else could make their videos sound like bland infomercials. But because this is so difficult to do well, you can get paid handsomely for it. If you're a big fan of 5 to 10 YouTube creators, have a good feel for each of their personalities, and have a reasonable amount of knowledge in the space they cover, reach out to them via email, DM, or the counting method we went over earlier and pitch them your services. Depending on the size of the channel, you can get at least $100 per script, and I would not be surprised if this were to go over $500 for larger channels. If you want to do this for short form video creators like TikTok, Reels, and Shorts, you could probably get between $10 to $30 per script. Again, these take much less time to write, so you're compensated accordingly. This may not be the easiest side hustle to pick up, but if it goes well, you would build a great connection with your favorite creators, and they would undoubtedly recommend you to other creators in their network. If you can write 5 to 10 scripts per week, you can make a couple $1,000s. This is a side hustle that can turn into a full-time job if you're good at it. Creators create. Most would rather not waste hours upon hours researching the best video and audio equipment to buy, how to set it up, etc. If you can set up a studio in a box service that has all the equipment the creator needs, camera, mounts, mics, lighting, even a background aesthetic, plus include the option to have you or someone you trust go to the creator's house and set it up for them, you would make absolute bank. You can include 5 offerings from lowest cost but lowest quality to highest cost but highest quality and show creators exact examples of video/audio quality from each option. You charge them the cost of the actual equipment plus another $1,000 to $2,000 for the setup and maybe another couple $100 for the convenience fee, and of course have them cover your travel costs if you need to fly out to see them. And you aren't just limited to creators here. With remote work here to stay, managers, salespeople, and other workers who want to make a good impression on video calls will be happy to use your service. You don't even need to be a video and audio expert to get started here. With a solid day of research, you can get a pretty good idea of the products you'd include in each package. Just set up a website, build your tier list, and make sure you build this tier list with Amazon affiliate links for each product included in each tier, so you still get paid even if someone just uses your tier as a list for what they need to buy themselves. Start DMing creators, offer your services on Fiverr, and don't be afraid to run paid ads on Google and Facebook. This is a legit business that can bring you 6 figures per year in profit once you get going. The best part is, once you get going and start bringing some money in, you can completely outsource the setup work to a couple employees that you hire, and your workload would drop close to 0. Our next side hustle is in an area that has a decent amount of competition, but there's always room for new faces. Generating brand deals for creators. The average creator earns over 70% of their income from brand deals. These are the company shoutouts in the middle of YouTube videos, the affiliate links in the description of videos, or the hashtag ad posts on TikTok and Instagram. A lot of the time, companies reach out to creators to make these deals. Sometimes creators reach out to companies to make these deals. Other times, creators have someone that reaches out on behalf of them to different companies and see who's interested in working with the creator. These middlemen between the creator and the brands can make pretty good money. They typically charge between 5 to 20% of the total payout of the brand deal. So if the creator agrees to a brand deal of $10,000, you can expect to receive between $500 to $2,000 just for sending a couple emails. If you want to start doing this, first reach out to creator and ask them if they'd be willing to give you a cut of any deals that you source for them. If they agree, make sure they send you their media kit, which will detail their follower count, niche, etc. 2, make a list of companies that have or could advertise in the creator's niche. 3, go to each of the company's websites and search for either the support email or sometimes they actually have a brand partnership/affiliate email. 4, send an email to the company titled something like influencer partnership opportunity and make sure to include the name of the influencer and their media kit in the body of the email. 5, then make sure you keep track of all active deals and hold the influencer accountable for paying you. If someone reached out to me with a deal like this, I would take it in a heartbeat because there's pretty much no downside. I don't pay you unless you actually source deals for me, in which case you'd be bringing me more income than I wouldn't have otherwise had. If you're new to this, you should offer to get your foot in the door with a 5% commission or even do it for free, and you can increase this once you prove you can consistently bring in deals. This is the least technical side hustle on this list. You don't really need any skills other than knowing how to effectively communicate and potentially negotiate over email. And with bigger creators easily bringing in 5 to 10K per sponsored post, you can make hundreds to thousands of dollars per week doing this for just a handful of creators. Here's where we start to get a little bit more technical. The third best side hustle in the creator economy is being a videographer. I hesitated including this on the list because it can be a side hustle, but for many it has turned into a full-time job. If you have a nice camera, or at least know how to use a nice camera, there are an unending amount of creators who would be willing to pay you for your videography services. It may not make much sense for a channel like mine to hire its own videographer, since my camera basically just sits in the same spot the entire video, but for real estate videos, more active side hustle videos, or even Mr. Beast style game show videos, there is a lot of fancy cam work that is required that the creator often can't do themselves because they're supposed to be in front of the camera. How would you start with this one? I would throw together a demo reel that shows you know what you're doing, and then DM or email some larger YouTube creators who you feel may need some help with their camera work. Even if they don't need help themselves, they definitely know other creators who do, and they'd be happy to refer you to them. I've heard of good videographers making over $100K per year just working for 2 to 5 YouTube creators. So if you like working with cameras, your dream job could be right in front of you and may be a very lucrative career path, which never hurts. Before we move on to the next side hustle, you've probably noticed a consistent formula for each one I've listed so far. 1, find somewhere you can add value / save time for a creator, and 2, reach out to them directly with that offer. We're a lot easier to reach than you think. If you send me an email or DM proving that you can add value for me, I'll happily look it over and see if it makes sense for me business-wise. Every other creator I know is like this, so don't be afraid to reach out. A less technical but still very valuable service you can offer to creators is becoming their graphic artist. This is especially valuable on YouTube, where thumbnails are the biggest reason someone decides to click on a video. But it doesn't stop at YouTube thumbnails. You can make profile pictures, YouTube banners. P.S. If anyone wants to help me out with mine, let me know. Could use some work. Thumbnails for Instagram Reels, Instagram posts, in-video graphics, artwork for courses and ebooks, website branding, the list goes on and on. And you don't need to be an expert graphic designer to add value here. Platforms like Canva make it super easy to make high quality designs, and they even have templates for YouTube thumbnails, banners, etc. If you want to get a little fancier, you can use Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop. And if you spend a week watching instructional videos and playing around on these platforms, you'll get the hang of it and be able to produce good artwork. This is yet another great service to offer on Fiverr, and once you have a portfolio of decent artwork, you can even send it directly to the creators themselves and ask if they'd like you to outsource all their artwork to you. On the low end, you can expect something like $10 to $50 for a YouTube thumbnail, but I've seen artists charge thousands of dollars for custom artwork for courses and ebooks. If you're artistically inclined, this is a great side hustle for you. And finally, we have the most popular side hustle in the content game, becoming an editor. An editor is responsible for turning your raw footage into a final postable video. They cut clips, add text overlays, images and special effects, correct the audio and color, and much more. Editing, especially with YouTube videos, can take hours, if not days, so it tends to be the first thing that content creators outsource. Personally, after recording and editing my first YouTube video myself, I knew that I needed to hire an editor if I wanted to post consistently. It wouldn't be sustainable for me to spend 3 hours scripting, 3 hours filming, and 3 hours editing each video every week. Hiring an editor has cut down the time I spend on each video by at least a third, which allows me to focus on other important tasks like actually creating the content. Yes, to be an editor, you do need a certain skill set. However, with basically everything being available for free on the internet nowadays, if you just search how to edit videos for YouTube on YouTube, thousands of videos will pop up that'll teach you everything you need to know. I'd say after 2 or 3 weeks of consistent learning and practice, you can become a solid editor. You'll want to drop a couple $100 on a professional editing software like Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere, which is money that you'll make back quickly if you stick with it. As far as how you can start making money here, we can go back to our bread and butter, plus there are a few more options since this is one of the most widely requested services in the content world. You can reach out directly to creators. I've had people do this to me, but it was before I felt like I needed an editor. You can post your services on Fiverr, where you can charge anywhere from $40 for a simple video to $350 for a very advanced edit. And the website Upwork is also a great place to post. Upwork has you charged by the hour, and the starting rate looks to be around $50 per hour. One note about Upwork, you'll tend to get more professional, corporate type clients. You'll get content creators, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. They can be a pain to work with, but they tend to be a little bit less price sensitive. Much like our other side hustles, if you can provide consistent value to a creator, they'll recommend you to their creator friends, and you can find yourself earning thousands of dollars per week as an editor. Content creation isn't going anywhere. Over the next decade, it'll become almost a requirement for every brand and business professional to build trust online by creating content themselves or partnering with content creators. Would you rather invest your money with a vanilla investment advisor down the street or with a firm owned or endorsed by your favorite personal finance creator? Would you rather have your taxes filed by the accountant's office recommended by your grandma or have them done by a firm owned or endorsed by your favorite tax content creator? Would you rather get a credit card that's advertised to you on TV Or, okay, you get it. Content creation will only pick up steam from here, and it's not just the creators themselves who are benefiting from this. In the world of content, everybody eats. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate you giving it a like and of course subscribing to learn more about money and personal finance every week. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.